I get an opportunity to speak with, coach, and mentor a lot of young men these days. And one thing that fires me up the most about working with men in their early to mid 20s is seeing the change and impact that I'm having on their life, not just today, but understanding the lasting impact and the butterfly effect of the small, subtle changes that these men are making right now in their lives, and how that's going to change the trajectory of their lives, their families' lives. If they're entrepreneurs, it's going to change their business, it's going to change their company culture. The impact that you can have by quitting porn on other people is endless. And that's why I think as young men, we need to be so focused on getting this out of our life as early and as quickly as possible. Real quick, before we get too deep into today's episodes, guys, let me remind you who we are and what it is we do here. My name is Coach Frank Rich, founder of Rebuilt Recovery and host of the Rebuilt Man podcast. And it is our mission to help men become better men by quitting porn and rebuilding their lives. If you're new to the podcast, make sure to subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I didn't get free from pornography until I was 35 years old. I spent my entire 20s and the first half of my 30s struggling, caught up in the addictive cycle, a shell of myself. Now, despite that, I had gone on to accomplish a handful of things, many things that I'm proud about. I started a company that generated millions of dollars over a short 5-year span. I played a second seat position in another company that was doing $5 million plus per year. I built my body up and pushed my physical limits further than most people ever will. I placed top 4 in the state of Florida in a classic physique championship. I placed 3rd in the world at the WBFF Orlando show 2015. I got to travel. I got to create some incredible relationships and connections with others. I developed a lot of high income earning skills throughout my 20s. But this one thing that I was holding on to, this one thing that was keeping me a shell of myself, limited my growth, limited my potential, limited not just the success, but the freedom and fulfillment that I found in achieving those successes. And that's why I believe as young men, guys that are in their 20s, maybe even early 30s, if you could understand how this thing is holding you back, but more importantly, how getting on the other side of it is going to set you up for success in this life. Just recently was talking about this with a group of men on one of our brotherhood calls. If we were to poll a large group of men, somewhere between 70 to 80% of those men would admit to regular consumption of pornography. And out of the ones that are regularly consuming, about half of them admit to having a compulsive and addictive struggle with that behavior. So what this means, man, is if you are in a group of men, roughly 40% to 50% of those men are struggling with this addictive behavior. Now, many of them are struggling cluelessly. Many of them are not aware. You are different than them just by the sheer fact that you are listening or watching this right now, which means you've identified that this thing is holding you back. So I don't need to educate you on that. But what hopefully I can help you understand is why those men continue to suffer in silence, why those men begin to blindly continue to walk in the guilt, shame, and struggles with this addiction, why those men are not aware of how it is limiting their growth, limiting their success, limiting the impact that they can have on their life and on others, why those men are living that life. Your awareness in the fact that you're trying to get free gives you the upper hand. And yes, man, I do think you need to see this world as a competitive landscape. Everything you're doing, whether it's in your career, in the marketplace, in your health, in your fitness, in the dating world, everything you are doing, you are competing against other men. You want to work your way up the corporate ladder and earn that promotion. You are competing against other men. You want to embark upon a journey of bodybuilding or competitive sports, you are competing against other men. You want to buy a home, you want to make investments, you want to purchase a car, a land, a home, a piece of property. There will be competition with other people. You want to find the woman that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, build a family, leave a legacy. You are competing against other men. And a man that is competing and struggling with a pornography addiction is going into that fight with one hand tied behind his back. You recognizing it, being aware that this struggle is present in your life, but more importantly, you are committed to overcoming it. It's giving you the upper hand in all of these competitive fields. When I see young men come into our program, whether they're 18, 23, 25, 27, or 28, we work with a lot of guys in their early to mid 30s that are a different season of life, different responsibilities, but those that have the world at their fingertips. It fires me up to see them working towards getting back control of this. It fires me up to know that in just a short amount of time, they will be ahead of their peers. They'll be ahead of their peers in the marketplace. They'll be ahead of the peers in the workplace. Because quitting porn and removing it out of your life heightens your focus, gives you more energy, more drive, motivation to put in the long necessary hours that are needed. Men that quit porn and get it out of their life have a competitive advantage in the marketplace, the dating marketplace. Women don't want to date men that can't control their sexual compulsions. Women don't want to date men that spend their time masturbating to screens. Real women don't want to date men who cannot keep their hands out of their pants. Women want to date men that know that they're here for a purpose, that know where their life is going, that exemplify discipline, willpower, motivation to go out there and do the things that you're here to do in this world. So the message in this video, men, is quitting porn is your competitive advantage. Getting freedom gives you a leg up against all the men out there in the world that you are fighting against. Quitting porn is your competitive advantage, men. And if you are aware of this and not working at getting free, you're admitting that you do not want to win at life. And if that's who you are, stop following us right now. That's not who we're trying to reach. These videos, our message, Rebuilt Recovery, the rebuilt man, is for the man that wants more out of life, for the man that wants to conquer his mission and purpose in this world and become the man that God has called and created him to be. If that's you, then we have an offer for you here today. Our 16-week Reboot Your Life program has helped thousands of men gain back control, conquer this addiction, and go on to live a 100% porn-free life. We've sold this course and training for thousands of dollars. Men pay us thousands of dollars a month to come into our one-on-one exclusive coaching program. But if all you're looking for is the blueprint, what do I need to do over the next 16 weeks to conquer this addiction and get it out of my life? Our Rebuilt Recovery course is available right now for a one-time small payment of just $99. $99, guys, that's it for 16 weeks of programming to get you to freedom. But this is only for you if you're a winner. This is only for you if you know that you want that competitive advantage in life. rebuiltrecovery.com/no-brainer. I linked it down there in the show notes below. It's in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. But only click the link. Only enroll in the course. Only join our community. Only get into our materials. Like I said, if you are a driven, motivated man that wants more out of life and know that porn is holding you back from accomplishing those things and realize that getting this out of your life is your competitive advantage. rebuiltrecovery.com/no-brainer. Your host, Coach Frank Rich at The Rebuilt Man. We love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.